we are going to talk about international cooperation facing climate change. Everything started in 1979 with the first World Climate Conference. Reunites just a scientific that were making some climate research. And the results of this conference actually led to start thinking that maybe the climate was changing. It was created the Intergovernmental Panel of Climate Change, a group of experts that are doing research about climate change all over the world. In 1990, they confirmed the global warming. The climate is changing and the human is responsible. This led to an international body, the United Nations Framework Convention of Climate Change. The objective of this entity is to stabilize the global greenhouse gases. The first great milestone, let's say, or the agreement is the Kyoto Protocol, set an emission reduction target. The representatives of the countries actually decided how many emissions they need to cut off in order to stabilize climate. They split the pie in ways that they think it's correct, based on historical responsibilities, and that was the main fact that leads to the failure. After that, there's been a lot of studies, but what I want to focus is on the second greatest agreement. Maybe you heard about it. It's the Paris Agreement. This set goals, but not emission targets. This is a down-to-top process. Now the countries raise their hands and say, okay, I can reduce this level of emissions based on my country studies, based on the research that I have made, and based on my own country knowledge. I know that I can reduce this, and this is my projection, and this is my contribution. Intended national determined contribution. What I consider that are the actual substantial problems nowadays. Try to understand what's going on overseas, what is going on with our neighborhood countries, how is their economy, what is the role that we play in the current world, and try to understand each other and to try to understand what can we do for a better climate future. Another great problem that I see, or issue that we need to tackle, is the presence of science in decision making. We are sending our best negotiators to the COP. They are arguing or defending something that they lack of knowledge that they will have some effect. And also the scientists, what about the transmission of this knowledge to the society? We also need to make that effort of trying to communicate to a broad spectrum of persons. Let's make an exercise. We need to split into three groups. Developed countries, the developing countries A, the developing countries B. These are the actual CO2 emissions. These are of the developed countries. The developing countries A, as you see here, they have a lot less emissions, but they started growing very fast. And the developing B, they are here, they emit very little emissions. The cumulative CO2 emissions from fossil fuels from 1850 to 2013. What is the population and how many money you have? So you should take everything into account in order to try to answer these questions. When your emissions will stop growing, when they will begin declining, and at what annual rate emissions will decline, and will you commit to reduce deforestation or increase reforestation? Cool, just let's split.
Most of the world's remaining tropical forests are in these developing countries where unfortunately there's substantial deforestation.
For me, I think that if we are to cut the emissions right now, it means that we are not going to develop anyway. And the technology for having a cleaner environment is in the developed countries.
We are representing our own country. Yes, our own country. Every country has a forest. And again,
Yeah.
afectadas también a la administración.
Now this is the results of the decisions that we took. What are we going to face if we reach this rising in the temperature, rising number of people at risk from hunger, significant changes in water availability, many species face extinction, more temperature, more energy in the atmosphere, more energy in the oceans, so more extreme events. And what are the current results of the community right now? They are doing even worse. They are in 3.5 degrees. We are in, our decision is in 3, and the goal is in 2. So it's an actual challenge, this. What can we do? As civil society, we can create awareness of climate change, keep track of our government commitment, be inventors, act local. You know your community, you can invent things, create intelligent economies, think about how can we shift this economy, improve the quality of our country's reports and measurements, understand the physical implications of our decisions, and make the right decisions. This is very important. And that's all. Thank you very much.